Hi, Jan's here. How are you guys?
All right, Jan's here.
It looks like I have a great crowd. I'm excited.
All right, there you
Woo!
go.
I hope everybody gets something out of this session. Okay, we've got what, another 3 minutes?
About 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to put you on hold for a minute and then I'm going to jump in
All right,
and we'll get the party started. Okay.
there we go. All right, good stuff, everybody. All right, so we got 5 minutes before Jan gets started. So again, make sure you got your notepads ready, all that fun stuff. And then if there's any wins you want to share, questions you want to ask, anything along those lines, I'm just hanging out until Jan gets started.
So, Robert, real quick question for you.
Yep.
I'm going to share my screen and then from there I'll have control over the training session. Is that correct?
Yep.
Because I have a PowerPoint presentation in addition to going into the demo live.
Yeah, it's your show. You should have the ability to share your screen, unshare, do whatever you need to do.
Whatever I want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start popping into sharing my screen, okay?
You got it.
Cool beans.
All right.
And I see everybody.
Yeah, there we go.
And I am going to actually turn my camera off. Is that okay?
Yep.
Because I don't think you guys need to see me.
Oh, he's
Okay, so everybody should be looking at this brief PowerPoint presentation. My clock says
We see
12.
it.
My clock says 12:12. Can I get started? Or should I wait a few more minutes? I'm excited.
I can tell.
I'm
Well, it's
excited.
only 2 more minutes, so we'll go at 12:15 just in case anyone
Okay.
else hops on at
Oh, that's
12:14.
right. It is 12:15. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Bad.
So
What
we'll,
can
we'll
I
give
say?
we'll give it the
I'm
two
excited.
minutes.
So I have Colleen coming in to do the chat. Will you also be able to do the take a look at the chat as well, Robert? Or should I just?
Yeah, I would just have her do it. I mean, I'll be listening, but I'm gonna
That's
be
fine. Yeah, I just want to make
multitasking.
sure it's okay to have her come in and man
Oh
my
yeah.
chat.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
cool, 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 cool.
Hey, Robert, since this is being recorded, can I get a copy of it after so I can rewatch it?
Yes, as soon as I find out where the recordings go, you can have it.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert.
As soon as I contact Jesse and find out where all these recordings go, I'm happy to share them.
Hey,
Oh, look at Ashley. It's like she already knew the question. She posted it in the chat box. That's why
I
Ashley,
love
that's
I love that
why
woman.
I
I
tell
love
people all the time, I wear the suit, but Ashley's the boss.
that.
All right, it's 12:15. Jan, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello everybody, and thank you for coming in and spending a few, an hour with us on Skyslope. So this is going to be Skyslope as it is indicated on your screen, Skyslope Part 1. So all of you are very familiar with Skyslope, I'm sure. But there is something new and exciting that's going to be happening with Skyslope very shortly as of May the 8th. Skyslope is going to have a different and new look to it. It will be their new dashboard. So here we go. So the objective of this class this afternoon, or this training, really is to introduce you to the new dashboard that will help you navigate through Skyslope. We'll talk about hold on, can you guys see this up here? It looks as though we're going to talk about the top ribbon here, and you'll get a better view of that once I get into the actual demo. We're going to talk about the new search module and how that looks and how it works. We're going to discuss a little bit about the monthly stats and how that works. It used to be, I think it was more interactive. Well, that's not the case. So there's going to be some new and different things going on here with this new dashboard. We're going to briefly go into the demo where we talk about listings and transactions and how you get to them, what they look like once you get past this dashboard. And you'll be able to see that compared to what we used to have, this is a very different look. So they bill it as being cleaner and easier to navigate. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. What we won't be dealing with today, though, will be the forms, Skyslope forms, the DigiSign and Breeze. That will be part 2 next month. We have some new and exciting changes that are going to come down the pike as well, with how you go in and process transactions in Skyslope. So let's get it going. All right, so really quick, we're going to jump into a demo, and I'm going to do the demo live, and you'll be able to go into the chat, and Colleen's going to answer some of your questions. But before we do that, real quick, I just want to hit on a couple of little things here. And those little things are this. When we get into the demo, you guys are going to say, well, how do I actually see this?
Seminar.
I'm sorry. We had one person ask, okay, can we see the video? Not only will you be able to see the video, but I also have these hyperlinks that will get you directly into Skyslope's videos and training on material that I hopefully will have the opportunity to touch on really quick, but material that I think you need access to, or information, training, videos that I think you need access to. We're going to talk a little bit because I'm going to go in and create a new listing for you. But in addition to that, if I don't have time, I have these hyperlinks that will get you into creating a video, going back through that material again, taking that listing and creating a listing, taking the listing into a transaction. This is how it's done. Being able to navigate through the technology in terms of managing the paper, being able to put your files into Skyslope, being able to split and assign those specific documents into the placeholders in the checklist. And the last link that I have will be, okay, if I don't have a listing that I'm creating, the next thing that I'll need to know how to create is a transaction. So these 4 links will be your quick go-to. Jan didn't have time to give us that information. That will be next session's info, but meantime, you'll able to go into Skyslope and see that, see how all of those modules work. I will also give you this information in the end, and I'll tell you where to go in Skyslope to get that the handout for the links, as well as being able to contact myself and Colleen. Colleen is my partner in crime when it comes to the compliance, and she is the other compliance auditor for the brokerage. Okay, so that's done. Let's jump into it now. So now we're getting ready to actually go into Skyslope. Okay, so everybody that's on this call probably has an account set up in Skyslope. And if you don't have an account right now, it's probably because of the fact you haven't been assigned one. Maybe you didn't have any transactional business or whatever. So Colleen will be your contact regarding the account. We prefer that you get your accounts established when you actually have a piece of business to put into the system so that we can kind of navigate you through it. So here we go. So this is currently the landing page that you see as of today. This landing page, this dashboard is going to go away, as I said, on the 8th, and it will look like this. This will be our new landing page. And as you can tell, it looks very, 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 very different. So let's start at the very top of this. The post is open. Robert, can I X this? This won't take me out of the session, will it? If I move this thing here,
You should be fine.
I can go ahead and exit out.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, okay, there you go. All right. All right, so take a look at this top ribbon here. This top ribbon has a lot less of the icons than you previously saw before. So let's talk about this. This particular icon on the ribbon is going to always be, if you will, your reset. So no matter where you are in Skyslope, if you always come back to the Century 21 logo, it's going to always bring you back to this landing page. Let's move over. This icon is called our apps. And in those apps, you can switch to Forms, DigiSign, and Breeze. Right now, we're not using these modules, but after the 10th of this month, we're going to be knee deep into these modules, particularly the Forms and Breeze. So that will be the next session of training that we'll go through. Okay. And over here to our very far right is your name. Your name is actually, let's hit the down button, is where your account information lives. And if you want to completely come out of Skyslope, this is where you log out. And of course, you can take your time and go through privacy policies as well as the terms of use. What I'd like to discuss with you right now is your account, my account. So my account is where all of your personal information lives. If in fact you were to change your email address or you had any kind of changes to phone numbers, address, anything, this is where you would go in and change your account information. We're not going to discuss notifications, signatures, and password changes. That's for another time and date. That's a little bit more advanced. But what I'd really like to share with you is the directory.
One thing real quick, Jan, while we were on that page,
Yes, ma'am.
Can
Let
we
me go.
go back.
This is Colleen, everybody. My
Oh,
partner.
hi guys. Where it says non-broker email, you can add your TC's email address in there. And then where it says send notifications, there's a button there that you click on to turn that on. That way, when we send updates from Skyslope about your files, you know, what's missing, what needs corrections, your TC will get that email along with you. So it comes in real handy for the TCs because they will get the constant updates along with you so they know what they need to get done in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to directory back here again. So the directory is where you also, this is where any file information that has contacts that have been entered, this is where your contact information lives. In addition to that, you can search for your contacts and you can delete your contacts. But the most important part of this I want to share with you is creating your contacts. So if you click on the button, create a contact, this information comes up. And you would be able to add all of your contacts. So as you go in and you start creating the files, the system will aggregate, pull in your contacts from the contact list. So let's go back. Again, as you see, I hit the Century 21 logo and it brings me back to the dashboard. So now let's talk about our search module. Okay, so in the search module, you can do a number of, there's a number of ways of searching. You can search by name. You can search by the agent's name. You can search by your contact that's in your contacts, or you can search by the MLS number. So I'm going to go in really quick and search by the MLS number. This is a new feature that they have added to this dashboard. And and as you see it flicking, what it's actually doing is when it goes into the search, it's searching every module, every part of Skyslope. The forms, your electronic signing modules. It goes in and searches everywhere to bring that information to you. In this case, I wanted to search by the MLS number. So it brought in that file that was created via the MLS number. You click on and you're in that file. Next is the monthly statistics. So as when we initially landed, we had a activity ribbon. That activity ribbon used to be interactive. This activity ribbon or module is not interactive. It's briefly there, like if it would be a whiteboard going into an office. It basically tells you what you have going on for that month, what closings you have, any active listings you have, any pending open escrows you may have, any closes that are scheduled for that month. This part of the activity or the statistical activity for the month that Colleen and I would really like for you to zero in on is expired escrows. So when you go into Skyslope, you're creating a file, whether it is a listing file or whether or not it's a transactional file, or if it was a listing turned into a transaction. In that file that you've created, you have to put in, the system asks you for the date in which, the estimated date in which a transaction is going to close escrow. This particular button keeps you abreast of what's happening in that file for that month for any open escrows that you have that have expired. Why I'm bringing your attention to that is for this reason. We know that sometimes our transactions don't close on the date that that we have put into the contract, or in this case, Skyslope. If in fact your transaction does not close escrow on that date and it's pushed out, let's say 3 days later than the escrow date of closing, what we'd like for you guys to be is a lot more conscious of that and start creating the ETAs, the extensions. Once the ETAs are created, we also need you to go into Skyslope and update your close of escrow field. And we'll show you that a little bit later on. For expires, if you had that month, if you have any listings that are expired, the activity or the statistical ribbon here is going to say, hey, you've got this expire coming up. Agent, that's your note to say, hey, you need to go back, get a modification of terms, get that listing extended, or you need to go into Skyslope and clean it up, or have it withdrawn, or I think it automatically, it doesn't automatically cancel, does it, Colleen?
No, it
It's
doesn't.
just in a suspended state. Is that correct?
Yeah, it just shows expired, and to clean it out of your Skyslope, yeah, you have to actually withdraw it.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
going to physically have to go in and withdraw it out of Skyslope. And these are the things that we really ask the agents to really kind of pay attention to. And again, as we're going through these courses and the training, all of these modules, we will be showing you how all these modules work and how you navigate through them. So let's keep going. Let's not get stuck on that too long. The next thing is the next ribbon that you have is your recent listings and transactions. So as you create the listings and your transactions, as you can see here, that information is displayed. The other way to actually go in and take a look at it is going in through the module here that's called View Transactions. So you click on View Transactions, and it actually drops you off into managing your transactions. Previous to this, you could manage your transactions from the landing page with an icon. Well, now you're going to manage it through going in, viewing your transactions, and here it has all of the information that you need, your current pending information, the status of what's going on with that file is indicated. But if you hover over status and you're not quite sure what the status is, this basically tells you what the status looks like, how the flags and the colors and how they're defined. Let's see. Cancellations. If in fact you have canceled a file, it will show up here. If in fact a file has been closed and ready for archive, it will show up here as well. One other thing that I'd really like to show you as well is here on this green button, it says create transactions. you can come in and create transactions from this panel. Or I love calling them modules, because in my mind, that's what they are, modules within Skyslope. So let's go back. Let's take a look at viewing listings. Viewing listings, basically the same thing. It gives you the breakdown on the activity of the listing. Sometimes you go into listings and let's say you get a call or something happens, you leave the computer, you haven't entered and completed the listing process. That listing will show there, and it will actually have the status of incomplete. Prior to this update, there was, I don't ever remember any kind of status really coming and being there really in your face that says, hey, you have this file that's incomplete. A lot of times agents have had to call me or Colleen and said, look, I started entering in a listing and I can't find it anymore. It disappeared. Well, hopefully this update will solve that issue. If there is any cancel or withdrawal listings, it's going to show underneath here, under this section. And again, if you look at the green button, you can also create listings from this section. So let's go a little bit further down the ribbon. So let's take a look at more. What does more have in store for us? So you used to be able, from the landing page, there was an icon that gave you access into archives. It was a button there that gave you access into tasks and reminders. And there was a button there to give you access into working documents. So at your leisure, you can go in and kind of play with these things, with these particular modules. But what we'd really like for you to pay attention to is the working documents. So let's go into working documents. Working documents is where all of the documents live that are personal documents that actually go into your emails, if you have any emails that have been sent to Skyslope. But the one module that we really are interested in you really paying attention to is the one that says office documents. In the office documents, this is where all of the documents for the brokerage live. This is where you can find booklets for the hazard, any disclosures for LA County, for San Diego County, for Orange County, our business affiliate, any home warranty waivers for home warranty. And in addition to that, you will be able to find the handouts from this session. Colleen and I will have this one where we will store all of the handouts. You'll be able to go in and look at the videos, but the actual handouts from the videos from our training sessions will live in office documents. Any questions so far? No? Okay, cool. So you can access your listings through the buttons here. You can go into a transaction, drops you right in. You can go into a listing. It drops you right in. And or you can use either view transaction or view listing. So having said that, this is a quick and straight to it way of creating new transactions. This is where if you want to come straight in, you fall right into Skyslope. Okay, I've got a listing. you can go straight here, straight away, create a new, and either it can be a listing or it can be a transaction, either one. And we're going to come back to creating a listing. But before we do that, I really just want to kind of touch on this space down here. So the Skyslope forms, I am not going to take the time to get into that today. It is to come within the next couple of weeks. We will be having a training session, and you will see the forms. We will have set up the libraries. It will be underneath what we call the broker's edition, where you will be able to come in and do everything that you need to do within Skyslope. It will aggregate documents from car forms, and it'll be just one stop doing everything that you need. And again, in another couple of weeks, we will have this all up and running, and our next session will be that. You have access to the DigiSign. I know quite a few of you now probably use eSign in car forms, or you use DocuSign. DigiSign is a e-signing module that is part of Skyslope. Monthly, I think it's $3.99 to do your own subscription to, or if you want to do a yearly subscription to it, it is $35 per year. I think it is. Yes, per year. And Breeze functions basically like Glide. If some of you are familiar with Glide, it's a way of managing the documents, the actual documents. Again, we'll do a deeper dive in these the next session. So at this point in time, what I'd really like to do is actually go in and create a listing so that we can kind of get the full experience, or somewhat of the experience, of how this module actually works. So there are two ways to actually create a transaction or a listing. You can do it through the automated process with the Sky Assistant, or you can manually go in and do the actual creation of the file. And as we get through this process, Colleen and I will kind of explain to you how both processes work. But for the sake of time, I'm going to do the animated or automated process. So we're going to enter a listing. I'm going to look up the listing, and looking up the listing, I'm going to simply put in an address. At this point in time, if you wanted to go into the manual process of entering in a listing, this is where you would switch to manual. Colleen, you want to speak to vacant land? Colleen?
Okay, yes, I'm here. Just a minute.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you will find when you're trying to load vacant land, unless it has a specific address, it's not going to pop up when you do the address lookup. So that's when you'd go to the switch to manual entry. So you know how on a lot of vacant land we'll put in like 0 Glacier. That's the address because it doesn't have an actual address. So that's when you're going to want to use the manual entry, because you can put all that information in by hand.
We've tried and we played with the APN numbers. It doesn't take
No.
APN numbers.
No.
So you would actually have to switch to the manual process.
Yes.
And it's not,
Yes.
it's Skyslope is wonderful in that it's very intuitive. So as you see the information coming up through the automated process, the difference between the automated and the manual is that, you know, it doesn't come up so readily. For instance, like as you saw how the addresses came up. It's as it is, it's manual. It's just, you're going to have to input everything that's there, but it will take you to each screen that you need to go to. So let's go. At this point, what Skyslope has done is basically saying, okay, so you're ready to put in a listing. What is the checklist that you want to use? Is it a business, a checklist for probate, commercial, lease residential, vacant land? In this case, we're going to go with residential listing. So next question. What's the price? So we're going to put in the price. Next question. What is the commission on both sides? Well, we're going to keep it rich and put in 3%. In addition to that, you could either put in a flat rate or percentage. So if there was a dollar amount, you could switch to a dollar amount here with the hyperlinks. If in fact you had a co-listing partner, another agent that was listing this transaction with you, you would add in co-listing. So here's the skinny with co-listing. In order to put in a co-listing agent, they have to have a Skyslope account. If they do not have a Skyslope account, Skyslope is not going to let you put them in as a co-listing agent. Next question. So we'll give it a listing date. Next question. Next question. Okay, at this point, we're going to put in the seller's first name and last name. If in fact there were, if you had another seller, at that point, you would add the additional seller in. We're just going to stay with one seller at this point. We don't really encourage you guys to pull in any of the partners that are here. Currently, we do use a property ID. And the reason why is that it creates additional cost. We already have relationships with most of these folks. And so to minimize the additional cost, what we ask you to do is just simply say no, thank you, and keep going. Same way with title and escrow. We don't encourage you to try and open up any title or escrow accounts at this point. We'll ask you to keep moving and say no to that. So now we've created our listing. We've created the listing. We've given the address. We've gone through the price, the expiration, the list date, the commission, date built, and the seller's name. Let's do the process of creating now. So here we are. We're actually now, we have gone in and we have created the listing for this transaction. Okay. So let's take a look at the top modules here. But before I do that, let me take you up here to the top ribbon. So now you'll notice that this top ribbon now has additional icons on it. Again, your logo, it takes you back to setting, back to the landing page. You have the actual transactions that you can get into. You can jump into listings if you have listings. You can also do your search. You can go in if you're at any point in time, you've got a problem and you need to talk to tech support with Skyslope. You would click on the little head. You can print. You have access to your apps and your account information as well. Real quick, what I failed to show you on the landing page was this. Let me take you back. I'm sorry. What we were missing here is, if you notice, we don't have the little support head that we used to have. That's because now support lives here at the bottom of the screen in a hyperlink that says support. So you click on, and either you can do chat, or if you don't want to do chat with them, you can enter in and just say, please, you can enter in and say, phone call, please. Then what happens is that Skyslope support will call you back because they have your contact information, okay? The other thing about the Skyslope support is that it is open 24/7, all the time, 7 days a week, holidays. You can get support. So let's go back to the listing, and we're going to go back to the listing via the landing page and click on, oh, here's the listing, and click on the listing, and wrong listing, it's canceled. Here's our listing. You see it's active. So the previous one I clicked on, it was canceled because of the status. We can look at the status and tell where we are. Okay, so looking at the first module, which is the listing part, you can see the address came in. You as the agent is indicated. What I'd like for you to pay attention to is here, the email. This email is created by Skyslope. What it does is it takes the address, adds it in as the front part of the email address at skyslope.com. So you're saying, well, what's the purpose of this, Jan? A lot of times when we're doing files, and towards the end of the files, in our checklist, there is a placeholder that says file notes, conversational notes, correspondence, text messages. When you're in the process of doing business, and especially emails, you can put this email into the copy field of your email. Any email that you communicate with an agent, escrow, title, lender, TC, if you copy this email in, it automatically will come into Skyslope's log of all of the documentation that you have been communicating with other folks on with emails. I strongly suggest that you get into the habit of using your file created email so that there is some kind of documentation on what you're doing out there with your files. So in the rest of this is kind of self-explanatory. Your pricing, your seller's information, if in fact you had additional viewers or anybody else that you wanted access or assigned to, that information would fall underneath the viewer. Build, and the office that you actually work out of is also indicated. But what doesn't show up, and all fields that are required will always have the little red dot. You know that these are required fields. They're absolutely required. But the MLS does not have a red dot. And that's because there are times where you'll take the listing, you'll go in, get the listing, get it signed, and within that 48-hour period that we ask you to put the listings into Skyslope, they should be put in, but you don't necessarily have an MLS number. So your MLS number would be the MLS number that is assigned when you go in and put that property into the MLS. You have to remember to come back and make sure that you have that MLS number. The reason why I'm asking, or really kind of asking you to pay attention to this, is because of this. our technologies talk. Our financial technology platform talks to our Skyslope and our CMR. And in order for us to make sure that our financials are correct, if properties have been put into the MLS, they're going to automatically be aggregated into our financial software. So it is critical that you make sure the MLS numbers are put into Skyslope. If there is no MLS number, then the nomenclature that we would like for you to use would be the address of the property. In this case, I don't have an MLS number. So the MLS number that I'm creating is going to be the nomenclature that has the property address. Any questions so far? Okay. Also, you will see that your commission information is housed here, as well as any additional information that you may need to put in to Skyslope. Here, you see the expiration of the listing. If in fact this changes using a modification of terms, please come in and update your listing information regarding expiration of date. If in fact your listing was a referral from another agent, please update Skyslope with that information. Add the agent, the referral amount, the company in which, or the brokerage in which your referral is from. If it is a flat fee, then put the flat fee. If it is a percentage, put the percentage. Once that information is indicated and you've gone through that, you're going to hit next. Next brings you now to the contacts. And remember, we talked about contacts earlier with the directory. So as you're putting your contact information in, it is being housed in your directory. So I'm going to click on edit because I want to do something a little bit more in detail and in depth. So a lot of times now we're finding more and more folks are putting their properties into trust, or you're working with LLCs or any other kind of entities that you're working with. I clicked edit. And if you noticed here, now any trust documentation or trust name, any company name that you're working with, or any other entity that you're working with, that information should be entered here on this field. The authorized signee should be first name, last name. And here you would enter in, I'm just going with what I've done earlier, the trust name with the date. And the email is provided. Again, the red dots indicate that that information is critical. It means that Skyslope is looking for that information. If you have multiple sellers, you would click this button and you would be able to add the additional sellers, and the fields would look just like this for your additional sellers. So let's save it.
Don't forget,
And
you
now-
need to add the phone number.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep. I'm tired of typing in fake phone numbers.
Okay, so we edit and the phone number. Now, we get that you guys don't know phone numbers and that they're not emails. So, and that's okay. That's okay. You're not going to have it. But what we ask that you do is just put the information in a specific type of nomenclature. And in this case, for the phone numbers, you don't have the phone number, don't know what it is. We ask you to do just repetitive numbers, 9999999 or 111 or 777. If in fact you have a email address that you don't know, I mean, if you're a listing agent, you're not going to know your buyer's the buyer's agent's client's email. That's okay. But we still need that information because, mind you, our systems are talking to each other. So, and the way that they're written, the code that they're writing, they're looking for specific types of fields that are written or that the information is put in a specific way. So in this case, let's say we didn't know the email. But if you notice the way I put in the nomenclature for this email, this is the the nomenclature for emails that are unknown. Simply put in the person's first name, their last name, or at theirlastname.com. Save. Any questions so far? I got a quiet group out there. 48 people, nobody has any questions. Okay. I'm really good at this, huh? All right. So now we're going to submit. And now it brings us back to our checklist, listing checklist. So how much time do I have? I've got 15 minutes left. Is that correct, Robert? Robert? Okay. So I've got 15 minutes left. I want to show you one other thing, quick thing. So you see that all of the red boxes that are in the checklist are required documents. So there are a couple of ways that we can bring these documents into the checklist. What I'm getting ready to demo for you now is how to bring the documents in using split and assign. So we're going to go to documents. We're going to upload. Oh, that's not what I wanted. And we're going to now, I went to my desktop. I found my file. All of my files, documentation for my listing and anything else that I need is sitting in a file folder that I have named with that property address or that property or that whatever nomenclature you use. I select the file that I want to upload, and now I open it. And here you will see Skyslope brought the file in. The file is sitting here. And now what I want to do is I want to split all of the documents that are in there, and I want to assign them to my checklist. So let's see what happens. All right. So what Skyslope did was it said, okay, I'm going to go out. You've gone out. You've attached your file that you want all of the documents in that have been fully executed. Fine. And now I'm going to automatically match them to your checklist. So the checklist had all of these documents sitting or placeholders sitting in there. And what Skyslope did was that it said, okay, these documents I'm going to match to that checklist. That's one way of doing it. But if you see here, there was one document it couldn't find. So I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. So now if I go ahead and down here at the bottom, I can now go and split and assign those documents. And those documents should find their way into the placeholder for disclosures, for the RLA, for fire hardening. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a go. Let's see if it actually does that. So now let's do split and assign. All right, so it told me it had 6 documents that either I can return back to the documents or go check the checklist. I encourage you always, always go and check your checklist. Now you see that the buttons have changed. So let's see if in fact the listing contract is there. And here's the listing contract. It's there. Let's see if all of the pages are there. Yep, everything's there. So having said that, this is one thing I want to also make make note of too. Let's see, I need to bring this down here so that I can get that out of there. Okay. So here's another thing that I want to bring your attention to. If in fact the checklist says a specific document, that is the document that we're looking for. And the purpose of the split and assign is so that we don't have a gazillion documents in a placeholder that don't belong there. If in fact you do put multiple documents in, as long as that first document that is specific to this placeholder is sitting on top, I'm okay with that. But if we have to go down and dig in to find the listing contract, that presents a problem because we're reviewing hundreds of documents or files a month. So it's overwhelming. So if in fact this is the listing document, then it should be in this placeholder by itself. And if it is not by itself, at least have it at the very top so that we don't have to hunt for it. So let's see what's happening in agency. Agencies here. So let me just bring this to your attention too. If you noticed, when there are multiple documents in a placeholder, you're going to always see a PID clip or gem clip. I don't know what this document is, so I'm going to do something you guys should never do, and that's delete it. Isn't that right? Colleen?
Don't delete. Don't.
Okay, I won't. I won't. I'll leave it alone. Okay. But I'm hovering over it. I'm hovering over it. But we ask that you don't delete documents. Okay. So I'm going to stick with the rules. Okay. So, but again, all of the documents should be in the placeholder as they were assigned. They're all here. Okay. Any questions so far? They're all here. Okay. So we are getting close to wrapping it up. Part 2, which will be in June, we will be going through the forms. We will do a little bit more review of creating and uploading and managing your paperwork. The hyperlinks that will be in working documents will be hyperlinks to this particular demonstration that I've just done, taking you in and creating a listing. It will go a little bit further because it will show you how to take the listing and convert it into a contract. if in fact you have sales, open escrows, the hyperlink will show you how to actually go in and create a transaction. Go in and create a transaction. That hyperlink will show you how to actually go in. And it looks almost exactly similar to creating a listing. And it will also show you how to go in and split and assign documents. So,
Hi,
real
Jan.
quick, yes.
Hi, Jan. Hi, Colleen. This is
Hey.
Alex. I do
Hey,
see the
Alex.
comment box that's there, and I've been told by Colleen that we should not put anything in there. Is that going to apply on our next rollout?
What's that? Put anything in where?
In comments on the last screen.
Oh, no, you're not supposed to. If it's that, you can put comments in there if it's a required document, if you want to leave us a note or something, but you
Oh,
should
yeah.
not go down the whole checklist where it says if applicable or whatever and put in NA, 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 NA. Yeah, don't do that.
You don't need to create more work for yourself.
Yeah.
But yes,
So we just leave
please.
it blank?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not applicable. It's
It's-
self-explanatory. It says,
Yeah.
if applicable, if fire hardening, if a property isn't in a high fire zone, why do you need to put anything there? You don't need to. We get it. It's not applicable. Okay. But to Alan, to your point, yes, talk to me. Yes, put comments in. Tell me whatever you need to tell me about that document or the transaction.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah,
Speak
about the
to us.
required documents.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, if it is a required document, this won't fly.
No.
Not going to fly. It's required for a reason. Now, let's say you don't have an MLS printout sheet and you have an SELM. Upload the SELM. So
Yeah.
now I know, hey, this property is exempt for whatever the reasons are. Okay. Or you can put coming soon. So talk to us. Yes, please talk to us regarding whatever is happening with your file with the documentation. Because when we review a file, we have to start off with the contract and any supporting documents. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. So anything that you have that gives us more insight to your transaction, to your transaction, and especially if your transaction is complex. Yes, talk to us. We encourage that. We're just saying, don't tell me if there's a seller's advisory and you didn't get it, it didn't, or it's not signed or whatever, and you say NA, well, we've got a problem. We've got a problem. So
Yes, and like I said, don't go down the checklist and go, okay, I see none of these apply, and just run down that whole checklist putting in NAs.
NA. No, why? Save yourself some typing strokes. We don't need you to put NA. It's obvious. If it's not applicable, it's just simply not applicable. And another thing we'd like to let you guys know, our checklists are going to be updated. Okay. Our checklist will be updated sometime midsummer. We're trying to get through all of the litigious stuff that is happening with the NRA and, all of that stuff that is reverberating out to everybody nationally, because we know that there are going to be some changes in contracts. We know that that the BRBC is going to be very much a part of how buyers agents do business. We know that the agency is going to be absolutely a required document before you start engaging anybody into anything. It is now, but it's going to be reinforced probably more so. So, are there any other questions? Nothing in chat?
No, just Lydia asked for our phone numbers, so I sent them to her.
Okay, okay. So was I that thorough? I could not be that thorough.
Yeah, you're pretty thorough.
Are there any questions or concerns? Good, bad, and different, please talk to us so that we can improve how we're reviewing your files and what your expectations are as well.
You'd mentioned something about in the beginning, I didn't catch it, something about where we can go and look for information about
Oh, okay, let's go back there. Okay, yes. So here, working documents. So you're going to come to the landing page, or the dashboard. You're going to go to more and working documents. Now, in our current Skyslope, it's actually a icon that says working documents. Well, with this new Skyslope, it's hidden, right? It's hiding. You won't know until you go in and hunt, peck, and click. Okay, so it's working documents. And then you're going to go into office documents. And this is where all of the brokerage documents live. And in addition to that, it will be where you will find the printouts for this. I'm going to put in this printout here that has the hyperlink. So what we briefly went over was creating a listing of Skyslope. And we went through the split and assign. But what we didn't go through taking a listing and converting it into a transaction. And you know what that means. You got the listing. Oh, you sold it. Oh, wonderful. You've sold it. And now you're in the checklist. In the checklist, you have everything in the checklist, all of the requirements have been satisfied. Okay, so you will then go into get back there, Jan, get back there. So now everything in that checklist has been satisfied. So now you're ready to take that listing and convert that thing now into a sale. So I would strongly recommend that you guys actually take the time to go through these hyperlinks, and that these hyperlinks take you directly into Skyslope support in the Skyslope application. And there is a myriad of things, but you will be able to tell from the list of hyperlinks that you're looking for creating a listing. So it really kind of takes you back over the information I've just shared with you. And if in fact, you want to take another look at how did she do that split and assign? You go back and revisit it in the tutorial within Skyslope. Or if you have a sale, let's say, hey, you guys you currently negotiating a contract now, and it goes into escrow. You can go in now and create a transaction. So this, if you viewed this video, it would take you right into it, and you'd be like, oh, okay, now I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in what I'm doing. And
so
then,
how do we, Jan, how do we get into this screen right there? What link?
here,
For more?
oh, how do you get into the screen? Let me show you.
Into the link. That screen right here.
Okay,
How
what
do
does
I
it
get
say?
here? How do I
What does
get
it say?
here?
Look at the very bottom. What does it say? Control click to follow the link. So I hit my control button and click on, and bam, I'm there. Makes sense? And so when I move that document into working documents, you should be able to use these links. Should be They should be active and ready for you. Okay? So you're going to hold down your control key and click on the link, and it's going to take you right there.
No, I
I've
meant, how do I
tested-
get to that brown screen to go into the link?
I'm going to drop this. This is going to be a handout. I'm going to put this document and this document into the
You went
Sky.
in, didn't you go in through the Century 21
I'm going to
logo
put
first?
those documents, those two documents are going to live here in Office documents. Does that make sense? So
Okay,
here,
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to log into your Skyslope, go to working docs, and then office documents, and we will have that brown sheet
okay,
uploaded in there.
okay.
Yeah,
it's gonna live here, and then you'll be able to get to it here. It'll say Sky Slope, new dashboard handout. And then you just click on it and download it to your desktop. You'll save it to your desktop. Does that make sense? If
So I
you
have a
need help, call me. Call the Colleen.
I
We're
have a
here to help
question.
you. Mhm.
If your TC is using that, does that mean we have an account?
Yes, absolutely.
And then what
Yeah.
is the purpose of the split and assign? I know you showed it, but what does that do? Like, what is the purpose of it?
It puts your documents into the placeholder.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Does that make sense? Was that enough of an explanation?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, it puts your documents into the placeholder. So here are all of the documents that were uploaded using the split and assign. So when I went into split and assign, it automatically assigned all of these documents to the checklist. Okay. So now, or there are other ways to get the documents into the checklist, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But if you'd like for me to show you, I'd be more than happy to show you again. And
Well-
show you another way. But
and
if-
also with the split and the sign, as you know,
Yeah.
Jan, like when you have a prelim, sometimes with the auto split, which is what we did, it doesn't work right. It wants to break your prelim down into 15 different pages.
But you wouldn't use the auto split for
Yeah,
a
well, no,
preliminary.
that's what I'm saying. If you have like your escrow instructions, prelim, it's all together. So you want to pull it up there, do split and assign with it. Sometimes it will break it down weird. And
No, I don't. Oh, so you're saying when you're getting your escrow documents?
yeah, and if they all come together in
Okay.
one PDF,
Yeah.
the auto split and assign will sometimes just break
Take
them up
over.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it'll break them up weird. So all
Mhm.
you have to do is hit that clear suggestion.
Hold on, let me go through it. Let me do one for them. Let's do
Yeah,
another.
yeah, so they
Let's
can
do another
see.
demo for them. Okay, so let's do a,
Oh, it's got to be a multiple document. A lot of times it wants to do the NHD funky.
yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll go back through this. We'll do
Okay.
this one again, and then
Okay.
we're just gonna manipulate. So everybody, we're getting ready to manipulate the actual software now, okay?
Yeah.
Let's see, did it take it? So,
Let's see. Yeah, it's right up there.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So here. Okay, so this is what we're doing now. So
Doing
basically,
it by hand.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to manually manipulate this process. And by doing that, what we have to do is go in and delete everything that Skyslope has automatically done for us.
Or you can hit the clear suggestions up there in the blue, and it will
Where is that?
automatically, you're
Where?
close to
In
it.
the center.
Yeah, it's clear. It's up there in the blue. It says clear suggestions. Clear all suggestions and return to manual splitting. It's right above the documents. There you go.
Okay, so there you go. So now, at this point, you can go in and start looking in the checklist, because as you see where we cleared it out, right?
Yeah.
I did it the old-fashioned way. I
The
just
old-fashioned-
X'd it all out, right?
Yep, yep. Hey, either way it works.
So what happened, and now, so now I put the cursor into where I want to type in the specific placeholder, and this placeholder pops itself up. So let's say, in this case, we have a profile. And we say that the profile is 4 pages. Now, what we've done is manually, we've gone in and created this split and assign to meet our needs. We're manually doing it instead of we took the auto off. Is that confusing to everybody?
Probably.
You know?
Yeah,
So.
because sometimes the auto does not break them
Split
up
properly.
correctly. Yeah.
It doesn't split properly.
So you have to switch to just doing it by hand.
Yeah. Is that confusing to everybody?
So what you did is you just put the number of pages of the NHD in there.
Yeah. So say, let's say my NHD was 1 to 12 pages. In this document, it would start at page 1 and go all the way to 12. And here it is here. This is where it's counting 12. Now it's ready to split it. And whatever the next document is, to Colleen's point, sometimes escrow will send us a bundle of everything in one file. They'll send the escrow instructions. They will send the escrow, the commission instructions.
Yeah.
They will send the preliminary title report. So when you get a bundle like that, you can go in and clear out the auto, just clear it.
Yeah,
And
because
then
the
you would-
auto won't recognize those forms.
Right. Right.
Okay, so
Or
how do you get the other forms back in there? The ones you had before?
what do you mean? I don't quite understand the question.
Okay, so you know how you cleared it out
Mm-hmm.
and then
Okay.
you automatically, you manually put in the NHD with the number of pages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get those other docs back? You have to manually put everything in there?
Which
Yeah.
other docs?
The docs that
These
were,
docs that were previously there, they're already there. They live in the module that's called documents.
okay,
what you're
that's,
asking?
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
to know.
And the ones that are already attached to the checklist that you've already done, they stay there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was confused, like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna put them
Yeah.
back in there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
here,
those are still there. They won't go
So-
anywhere.
so
Okay.
that she dropped me off into no man's land here again. So hold on 1 second. Oh yeah. Okay. So having said that, let's get back into, because I'm a very visual person, you know, seeing things help me. So forgive me, I'm just anal in that way. So let's go back. You see where it says documents? All
Yes.
those documents are there. They live there, right? They live there already. So you don't have to worry about losing those. And the more documents that you add to this module, this list just gets longer and longer and longer until everything that you've uploaded into that checklist lives in the documents. So let me do one other thing here that's pretty cool. I didn't want to, I wasn't planning on doing this, but let's say if you only have one document
Yeah.
and that document is living out there in, let's say, a file folder on your desktop, you can attach and it says, where do you want to go? I want to upload a document. And I think I was the, I think it was the, I think I did the MLS. So I want the MLS and I want to upload that MLS into my checklist. So I went to attach, found it, it's uploading, and there it is. So there's a number of ways to attach attach documents. We've just skimmed the surface for you. Does that
I
make
have
sense?
a question. Colleen,
Uh-huh.
so my last transaction, I had the TC send over like 15 completed documents, all completely signed, all in one PDF format.
Yes.
When you upload it and go to split, what's the percentage of it working out 100%? Or is it only 99% of the time it works?
Well, it depends on what's in
depends-
that bundle of
Yeah.
documents, you know.
Well, it's
And-
only
and-
disclosures. I'm not going into NHDs and stuff like that. It's just the seller disclosures that we got back.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes sellers disclosures, sometimes you have addendums, sometimes you have text flow, right? That's if you do a AVID, it can text flow. So text flow is not one of the items here.
Yeah.
So it will be denoted when you do the split as not found. That's how it's going to be denoted.
What does
Or
it do with the not found?
it will not pull it in.
It won't
just
assign
Yeah.
it. You have to create, you have to reassign it.
Yeah, you have to,
Yes.
you have to split it, print it, split it out, however you do it. And then you have to either attach it, or here's the other option you can do. So let's say this is my file and I don't see anything in here that requires that I a text flow or whatever. But this is my file here and it has all of my documents in it. I can do this with the file. Let's do this. I'm going to put that out there on my desktop and I'm going to put this on my desktop. Okay. This is known as drag and drop. Okay. So you can either attach it the way we went into the file, or you can go in and just simply do this. And the file is there.
So when you drag it out of Skyslope onto your dash,
No, you
no,
have
she's dragging it into Skyslope.
oh
no. Okay.
I never knew
so-
that, so thank you.
Yeah. So here's my file. This is a file I have. Okay. Look, this is a file. This is how I work with my files. I name my files by whatever the transaction is. Okay. So I open up my file and say, oh, okay. I have a working document file. Oh, I have a AAA. Okay. So there's a couple of ways I can do this. I can either drag and drop it right out of here and add it. It's there, or I can put the thing on my desktop and drag and drop it.
oh,
Make sense?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's
But you
multiple.
can't drag and drop it out of there onto your desktop, right?
Yeah, I did.
No,
No,
Here's-
no, she means reverse.
Reverse.
Yeah, reverse.
No. Okay, so you want to pull files out of Skyslope and put them on your desktop. Go to open it up, find the file. Okay, so here, I went to the placeholder. Oh, I want a copy of this. I'm going to open it up, click on my little gem clip, and then I'm going to go here and say either I'm going to save it, put it on my desktop, and save it.
Okay, but you can't drag and drop onto your desktop.
Sure, no, you can't do the drag and
No,
drop
okay,
opposite.
okay.
Oh, no, I've never tried that. That's a
Yeah,
good question. I've
Try
never
it,
tried
Jan. Try it.
Mhm.
Try
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see.
it.
Let's see if we can drag and drop. Let's see. Well, we know
Yeah, I've
multiple
never
files are
tried it
in here.
either.
Yeah, I've never tried it. So let's see. Can I drag and drop this thing? No,
No,
it doesn't let you
no.
drag and drop. No, it's not going to let. This is what it looks like. There's nothing that we can work with. So no, you
Yeah.
cannot do the opposite. Great question.
Yeah.
I've never tried to do it before. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That was a
as
good
to
question.
where you started with your original question, Alex, yeah, when you get that big bundle, a lot of times it does not recognize the documents. So I just go to the clear suggestions and break them apart manually.
Manually. Mhm.
Got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So was this helpful?
Yes, I learned something. Thank you.
Good. So I hope we see you guys and more of you guys next month when we jump into our forms. We're going to do some more demos on navigating, managing documents within Skyslope. You have the links that you can view prior to coming to our session, so that, and I would encourage you to watch the links, because that way what we're showing you won't be so foreign to you. You'll really be able to grab the concept a little bit more, because you've exposed yourself to the how to navigate and manage the files. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Give us until Tuesday to get the working docs up and running. We've had so many changes and so many
Yeah.
updates with Skyslope that we're still trying to clean up. We're still trying to clean up our working documents.
Yeah.
So give us to Tuesday, and we promise we'll have everything in there for you. We'll have updated business affiliate, and along with some other helpful documents, disclosures, but we definitely will have the 2 handouts. So if you would like to get those 2 handouts before Friday, if you would like to get this information, if you'd like these 2 things, send me an email and I will email them to you ASAP. And this is
You
my
put your
email.
email on there?
Here it is, right here. And I will just send me an email and say, Jan attended the training. Please send the 2 handouts. And I'm just going to attach them and send them to you. And I'm not going to give you a lot of verbiage. Okay. I'm just going to send them to you. So that way, you know that the hyperlinks will be also active as well. Okay. All is well. Is it good? Thank you guys for attending. Hope I didn't put too much information out there that is hard to digest, but Colleen and I are always here to answer questions and to support you in any way we can.
Yeah. Call anytime. Anytime you have a
So
question.
how do we get a hold of you ladies again?
Here,
Phone
look on this.
numbers.
I put our phone numbers in the
They're right
chat.
there.
Mhm. You see the email here? This is our
Oh.
contact. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Be safe. Have a good weekend.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jan and Colleen.
Bye.
Hey, Ashley. Thank you.
Oh, I hear Ashley.
Yes. Thank you, Ashley.